Hi, we are live. Yay, yay, yay.
Hi, everybody.
This is Let's Talk Agile 20 Reflect from African ambassadors. And I'll get the regional ambassador from East Africa to introduce Nchumuya from Zambia. Over to you, Dennis, but introduce yourself first.
Okay then, so my name is Dennis. I'm the regional ambassador for East Africa. I am happy to actually be on this, I don't know if I can call it a show or we can just call it maybe Agile Talk. So I'm representing East Africa, that would be Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and I'm so sure there's another one that I've left out, but yes. So I'm going to encompass all of them, make sure we have Agile representatives in all of them. We have Nchimunya from Zambia, whom we have worked with Scrum Daddy. If you do not know Scrum Daddy, you should know Scrum Daddy. And I've also worked with Hashmukh, who's also the Kenyan ambassador. I believe all of them will also introduce themselves. I really hope I pronounced your name well, but yes.
that makes all of us. So they say ladies first, after men. So very quickly, I'm going to pin you, Nchimuya. Let us get to know you in your own story.
So my name's Nchimunya Kabunda. I'm the ambassador from Zambia. And my background is in information systems management. I've been in the industry for over 15 years. And my career has mainly been with the Zambian government. I worked with the Zambian government. And after that, I moved to 3 different countries. I moved to Benin, I moved to Ghana, and the US. So from all these parts that I've moved to, I came across Agile and I fell in love with it. So like Dennis said, if you don't know Scrum Daddy and you're in Agile on the Western side, on the Western part of Africa, then you need to know that person. So I got into my Agile journey through Scrum Daddy. And I've been on this journey and I love it. And from all these parts that I've moved to, I have so many lessons that I am taking back home with me to Zambia and would like to implement a lot of projects that are Agile based and also make aware different organizations, individuals, how they can utilize Agile and make their lives better and valuable. Thank you. That's in a nutshell. Yeah.
In a real nutshell. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I forgot to say what I'm doing presently. I am with Enea World, and Enea World is a French NGO based in Paris that provides school supplies to vulnerable kids across the globe. So I'm the mission head in Zambia, and I'm managing the Enea World projects in Zambia. That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that introduction. So I'm going to move to you as well. Please, our ambassador from Kenya. I'm trying to pin your picture. So can you introduce yourself as well?
Sure. Thank you, Mercy. Good evening, everybody. My name is Hasmukh Chudasama. I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya. And I've been in the software industry, software world for about 15 years plus now. Worked for various companies, looking after multiple countries in East and Southern Africa, where we have delivered impactful projects in the software solution space. My journey with Agile started about 4 years ago, which is relatively a short period of time. And the way I was introduced into Agile was through a internal organization transformation journey. And when I saw the kind of impact and the kind of potential transformation that an Agile initiative could bring, that is when I fell in love with it. And since then, I've been singing and dancing Agile everywhere. as much as Agile is a software development methodology, I believe that the real impact of Agile is when you start taking an organization-wide approach to Agile. And that's where my expertise comes in. I would call it expertise thanks to a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of time that I've put into the Agile journey. So that, in a nutshell, gives you an idea of who I am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Amsuk, I hope I said it. Please correct us.
This is Hasmukh.
Okay, Asmukh.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you so much. Dennis, over to you as well.
Okay, then. So on my end, I've had a travel. So I've been in numerous industries across, let's say across the whole domain. I've been in different roles, from being a system administrator, someone in IT maintenance. I've moved up till the project level. I've done the NOC engineering bit that gives you the whole wide perspective of how the IT industry or the IT domain sits in whichever company. So having that, I've pointed out that I've been in numerous industries. I've been in the hospitality industry, used to work for KFC a while back. I have been in the education industry, now currently in the banking industry, and I also worked for the telecommunication industry. So I've been about jumping, understanding, learning how things are. And the weird bit is, for me, joining Agile, it was, I don't know if we say it was like luck, because currently at the time I joined Agile, I was doing a contracting job for a different company. Then in that company, it was just pretty simple. So we have something that has come out. It's new in Africa. It's called Agile. We're giving out certifications. Come on, just try, learn, and see how things will actually be. So at that time, we were like 30 of us who were told to join in. Guys were psyched up, but the guys who actually did it were really few. I ended up doing it till the expert level. Then, boom, I started using Agile in my life, started joining communities everywhere. I'm currently in the Vodafone community. Also in the Agile London, there's Agile Kenya, and I've been talking with Hashmukh and Shimunya. We have currently noted that in the African domain, we have a lag. We don't have communities in Zambia, we don't have communities in Tanzania, in Uganda, and so forth. So I believe it's in us who have actually started it to actually push and use that Agile evangelism to push it up to the next level. So that's just a brief on me.
Thank you so much. I mean, so the next question I'm going to start from Amsuk. Oh God, mercy. I better stop
Hasmukh.
Asmukh.
There you go.
Thank you so much for your understanding of my native tongue. So the next question I want to ask, how is Agile being adopted in Kenya? And if you could share some of the success story, would like to know.
So Kenya is seen as a hub for innovation, software innovation. I think it is considered a regional hub. We have many success stories in the country, such as M-Pesa, for example, which is a mobile money transfer system. So having said that, there's a lot of in-house, every company wants to have an in-house development team because there's a large pool of resources that is coming out of universities who are extremely skilled in software development in various areas. And this is all leading up to the innovation culture that Kenya is more or less known for, okay? To that extent, it is a success story, okay? Because large number of organizations today want to develop their own apps. They want to have an internal team instead of depending on outsiders or outsourcing the specific intellectual capital. Having said that, what I've seen is Agile is not moving out of the software development space. It is still perceived as belonging to the software development space. And this is where I tell people that if you start looking at digital transformation, I work for a company currently, and I work for a previous company where we say we want to transform our client from a certain level of maturity to a higher level of maturity. This is what we call digital transformation. But when we start that journey and we start looking at what software and the capabilities that software development can bring to the table and having an agile mindset around that, I've realized that people are not looking at the cultural side of the organization. They're not looking at the people side of the organization, and not looking at, as I said, the cultural transformation that is required to make it an organization-wide success story. And that is where I see a gap. So that's my experience so far.
Thank you. So basically in Kenya, they're a great success story. And I agree with you, as much as Nigeria is equally leading innovation. I know M-Pesa is a very huge success. I'm not going to lie about that. Yeah. I agree that there's a great success story because of the adoption of the Agile mindset, but you have preempted my question of the challenges, but I know that is just on a high level. I'm going to ask you the question again. So, Nchimuya, how has Agile been adopted in Zambia, and what are the success stories?
So from the Zambian perspective, I would say the adoption of Agile has been quite slow. And our story is not so different from Kenya, but we also have our uniqueness and different areas that Agile has been used. An example of an area where Agile has been used is a project on the prison's information systems that was created. We have some government sectors or departments that have used Agile. We have the banking industry, some of the banks back in Zambia using Agile. Like Hasmukh said, we also have challenges in the adoption. And apart from the adoption, it's mainly the involvement of management to involving management to adopt Agile management has been a challenge to many organizations. Apart from that, the other challenges that the Agile industry has faced is just lack of skill. How do we empower the people of Zambia, those that want to be in the Agile space? How do we empower them with skill so that they can be competitive and be able to implement Agile in the rightful manner? So it's been used, but the adoption is very slow. Right now, my drive is to get people to use Agile, get everybody aware of what value Agile brings. And it begins from me. What mindset do I have? And from there, from myself, I can change the mindset of a community and an organization and eventually the country at large. So the mindset plays a very big role in the use of Agile. And that is a journey that I want to take back home and make sure everybody adopts Agile in that format.
Let me say thank you. Obviously, it's kind of similar challenge,
right?
But Agile is not reaching as much as we hope it would. I like what Amsuk said earlier. He said that is not moving away from software development, but I'm going to come to that shortly. So Dennis himself, our East African region ambassador, let us know what your take is. How successful, I know that you're from Kenya as well, as much as you're the regional ambassador. Let us know the adoption of Agile and the success story as well. Thank you.
Okay, so on my end, it's been a long journey, having that I'll be completing my 3rd year in the Agile domain. I've been contracted with different companies. I have honestly learned a lot. And something that I've currently noted is the assumption that Agile is taken as a process instead of an act of the mindset. So I've had a lot of back and forth, having that many companies have actually been successful without Agile for the longest time ever. Then you come in and tell them there's another way that you can actually get more money, more returns, and all that. And you haven't actually succeeded in any company per se or in actual scope for you to actually, having a track record of what you're saying is currently true or not. So the adoption in Kenya and in East Africa as a whole, from what I've actually understood and what I have learned, is that guys want to be agile, but the process of actually being agile is now what comes in to break things a little bit. So from the communities I've talked to, from the different people I've talked to, guys who are actually bringing agile in the African domain or in this African domain are the big companies. As we speak, I currently work for Equity Bank. Equity Bank is in it's in different countries, and having that agile is coming in Kenya, then it will actually be spread within every single country that Equity has a foothold in. So the big companies, Vodacom, Vodafone, all of them are the ones who are now bringing all this change, and now the local guys who are currently noticing it are now getting on board with it. But for, yes, and something else that I've also noted, the startups are also adopting Agile, having that not everyone wants the whole hierarchical approach, dealing with waterfall. Guys want to reduce cost and all that. So most startups that are coming up are actually starting up with an Agile mindset, and that's how things are currently moving forward. So that's my assessment. But as you've said, it's low. I do believe Kenya is currently, I don't want to say ahead, but judging from the communities and our outreach in the African market, then I can actually say that Kenya is actually ahead in regards to adopting Agile. So that's just my take on the adoption.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you for sharing that. I know I'm the interviewer, so I shouldn't be speaking, but I'm an African, so I like to learn one or two. For me in Nigeria, I think startups are the ones driving Agile. Startups are the one really driving Agile in Nigeria, as I would speak. I'm sure you are all familiar with Paystack and the success that they've recorded. Just coming back to you, Asbuk, right?
Thank you. You got it right.
Thank you for breaking it down. Thank you so much. Anyway, so basically from what you said last was one of the key things that you've noticed with regards to Kenya, that Agile is not moving away from software. But in Nigeria, the irony is we are applying, that's why I said startups are the one driving the Agile approach in Nigeria, because in the wedding industry, they are using the Agile approach to planning weddings. They are using Agile approach to planning events. They are using Agile approach for the family. I'm using it for the family, but I know we have a long way to go. I'd like to ask you very quickly, what do you think are the challenges facing Agile adoption in Kenya? Yeah.
So my experience so far is, if I could put it in one sentence, is knowledge does not equate to understanding. That's my experience.
Sure.
People throw around a lot of buzzwords. For example, You can have a project manager who is very conversant with the waterfall approach, and then we say, no, this is not what we want to do. We want to run this project in the agile manner. And that's where a lot of words get thrown around. But if you look at the processes and what the plan comes up with, it's not really agile. I think there's a gap. Perhaps it's an evolutionary kind of gap that, you know, somebody is acquiring the knowledge, putting it into practice is a different matter. So I'm seeing that personally. It's not moving. For example, I profess to many people that, look, we need to do HR. When I speak to an HR manager, that how are you using Agile in your organization as in the HR world? It's not that. If I look at marketing and what modern marketing means, people are not using Agile. And the same applies to various organizational units. There's the silos still operate as silos. And I'm a big believer that in the new world, in the world of disruption, the operating system that we had in the old days is not applicable today, I think. There needs to be a second operating system within the organization that is very value driven, if you understand what I'm saying. This is what I try to do. But again, it comes back to the same thing that you can ask somebody to say, okay, go and do a certain course, or here are some books you can read, but it does not really equate to understanding. Perhaps it's a gap in maturity, and perhaps it's going to be filled over time. But the way I look at it is that we really need to push the buttons when we're talking to the executive, at the executive level, because that is where I think the gap is, where people see Agile and say, oh, this is a technical term. I don't want to get into it. Please leave it to the technical guys. And I think that's where the problem is.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. The resistance is from the management level to filter it. And another thing that you actually said that was quite strong there is the fact that people are still working in silos. I asked this question, even if I ask you in Zambia, I ask you in Kenya, how many successive, I'm talking 4 generation, successive generational wealth do we have in Africa? For me, I know the answer. In Nigeria, it's only the Dantatas. So the Dantatas wealth has now become 4 generation, which has extended to Dangote, for instance.
Yes.
But are they using the Agile approach? So I think this speaks to the fact that the gap here is not just enough having certification, which is something that Africans are very excited about, is the fact that you need to understand and have the Agile mindset, which has frameworks sitting under it. So I'd like to ask you, Nchimuya, what are the challenges confronting? I know that you're working right now in Ghana, so you can actually speak with regards to the adoption of Agile in Ghana and the challenges of Ghana going full-blown Agile, and if you know any of the success and challenges confronting Zambia as well. So you have 2-edged sword questions. Sorry.
I think I'm better off starting with the Zambian side. I think from the Zambian side, the main challenges that everybody, all the communities I've spoken to, are pointing me to lack of management commitment. When it comes to really making management understand what Agile is all about, management mostly doesn't understand what people are doing in Agile, and they're not coming forth with supporting such projects. So the monetary aspect is lacking, which is a big player when it comes to project completion and execution. So the awareness and education of management is very key, because once they understand, management understands, or senior management understands, they'll be able to commit. They will not be able to commit if they don't understand what they're committing to. So that's a huge challenge that projects are facing in Zambia. And also the lack of using there's all this buzz of Agile, Scrum, but how do you bring value? How do you use Scrum? How do you use Agile to bring value to your organization? So they're not using, how do I put it? Practice of Agile is not done properly. So at the end of it, or you find that an organization says we're practicing Agile, and when you look at what they're actually doing, it's actually not anywhere close to Agile. So that is a big challenge as well. And also the mindset is a big challenge. There's a lot of resistance because when you look at the Zambian case in particular, where copper mining is our major economic activity, and right now the copper is very low. We can't get so much value out of selling copper, and we haven't had a lot of diversity in all the activities. So when it comes to money, management is kind of like, they have to see the value that
she's having
Agile
technical.
Yeah, they have to see the value that you're presenting to the table. So the bigger part that I think should be done in the Zambian case is awareness. How do I make sure everybody is aware of the value that Agile brings, and the steps that you need to follow to make sure you're achieving the holistic value that Agile brings. So I think those challenges need to be addressed, and I'm an evangelist that wants to preach those values and move the Agile movement forward.
So basically, you're echoing exactly what Asmuk has said.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
You're stating exactly what he has said. The fact that there's a lot of buzzword and Agilist, there's Scrum, there's framework, but the disconnect of the technical depth is what is causing problems. So, and the fact that you use the buzzwords in organization and you fail woefully, so leaders would naturally say, no, this doesn't work, because you don't understand that the overall action goal of Agile coming to fore is to deliver value, is discovering better ways of working. So I think that is so key. So Dennis, coming to you as well.
Sorry, Mercy, just to add on, I think even in Zambia, we have the issue of people think Agile can only work in tech or IT, in the IT industry. So breaking that barrier, I think there's a lot of work that I, as an evangelist, has to do, as in tell people how Agile can be used across the board, be it on a personal level, be it in a restaurant, be it in teaching, be it in health. Agile can be used across the board. So that is a huge challenge as well. When you speak Agile, management or people think, oh, this can only work in IT. But the mandate that I have as an evangelist, I think I need to spread, or not spread the word, but I need to preach the word that Agile can be used across the board in all different industries. And there's been success stories, and those are evident enough that Agile can work in different industries.
1,000%, 1,000%. Right. Thank you so much for that. That means everything, yeah? So Dennis, over to you. Challenges confronting adoption of Agile as a Kenyan person.
Okay then, so in regards to challenges, I have met very many challenges, having that have been in different atmospheres, helping guys out with whatever they're facing wherever they are. I guess the biggest challenge anyone faces is having a set of people, or having it can even be one person, having that you want to go Agile, you really want to go Agile. Everyone else wants to adopt it, but you have a certain clique of people who think that Agile is garbage. I'm sorry to use that word. but there are some people who have not actually experienced the real Agile. They have heard of Agile, they have tested it on their own scope, and having that it did not work out for them, then it actually becomes the worst thing that has ever been brought into the whole management bit. So what I like to train and tell my colleagues and the people I'm with, if we're talking about Agile, Agile first has to work with your life, with your own personal life
Your
first.
network is cracking.
It's cracking.
Okay.
Okay then. So,
Yes.
okay, so give
Let's
me.
try now.
Oh, it's better
Okay.
now.
So, okay. Hello, Dennis. Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is
So whatever I just wanted to point out was for you to sort out your challenges, having that the biggest challenge is having blockers on the scope. It is really prudent for you to use Agile in your own personal life first. Try it out before you come to the company and say that it cannot work. So once that is done, then everything should actually be okay. I don't know if my network is okay now or it's still fuzzy.
It's better now though. It's better. So
Okay,
I think we've talked very serious things, but I know there's hope for Africa, for the likes of me, you, Inchimuya, Dennis, Asmuk. There's hope for all of us because we are evangelists of this agile mindset. The number one challenge that I know is confronting Africa is our mindset. We are really, really traditional. So Waterfall just falls in line with that. So I think that's the number one. So I need to make it lighter. It's too intense conversation. I know Dennis and Inchimuya mentioned Scrum Daddy. I'd like to know who is your agile hero? I'd like you to mention 2 or 3 female, male Africans, not African agile heroes. My eyes are popped. Okay. Who is your agile hero in Africa?
Mercy, I think I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm a product of Scrum Daddy, so Scrum Daddy comes first. Scrum Daddy is my hero, and like everybody said in the introductory remarks, I'm also quite new in Agile, and I came across Agile through Scrum Daddy. And
so who is your second one?
Second one, I think I've been following you quite a lot, for some time. Yeah, you haven't, maybe you haven't noticed, but for the last 1 year, I think I've been following what you've been doing. Yeah.
Wow.
What you've been doing. And the third one, female as well, is a lady from the States, Texas. How can I forget her name?
Anu Gopad.
Anu, not Anu, but there's another one. When the name comes, I'll let you know. But
okay.
Yeah, mainly Scrum Daddy has brought me on this journey. It's a wonderful journey, and for me, like I said, I've been living in different parts of the world, and the biggest take of Agile has been grown here in Ghana. And all these lessons that I'm taking with me, I'm taking them back to Zambia, and I've seen all these success stories, and I would like to see Zambia on the Agile platform that is working, that is creating valuable projects, and that will see many generations to come.
Thank you. So Dennis, but I'm very humbled for adding me to the mix. The irony is I'm actually very new, not 20 years of experience. I'm literally new in Agile, 4 years, not that long. So my own Agile hero, Alex Bugudi. I will add Scrum Daddy to that list. I will add Louisa Mensah to that list. And I'll add Mary. Mary Lanio. I'll add her to the list. Those are my 4 Agile heroes right now. They are truly an embodiment of the Agile mindset. So, Asmuk is your Agile hero.
Yeah, I have, in terms of heroes, it's, well, I've been exposed to the Prince 2 Agile methodology, so I was very, very impressed with that. It's, I think it's transformative if you get it right. So I like that. In terms of personally, the people who impressed me is some of the development team that I've worked with. People who probably have left university a year or 2 ago and they're into the employment pool. And these guys are mind-blowing in terms of the agility mindset and how they see the world. It is transformative. And I like to just sit there and listen to them sometimes, because there's so much, I think they see the world entirely differently than some of us do.
Yes.
So I think those are my heroes.
I agree with you. And do you know why it's easy for you to get fresh mind Africans to adopt the Agile mindset? It's because their mind is not being skewed by the traditional approach to doing stuff. And I can attest to that as well. Dennis, who is your Agile hero?
Okay, then. So on my scope, my number 1 Agile hero will be a lady in Kenya called Gladys. I know she has.
I know the name. Yeah.
So she has been in the communities that we are all familiar with the women in Agile and so forth. So she is my number 1, having that she actually assisted me to become an Agile coach in my former company. Being handheld on a new road that no one has actually gone through plus herself. But having that wisdom, the experience we had, having also coaches from the Vodafone fraternity assisting us as we move forward. So she was she still is my number 1 hero. And I believe that actually takes the whole scope of there's something we call the Agile Studio, where at that time I was we were only two male Agile enthusiasts, and I was the only male Agile coach. Having that, I left. I don't know if they got another Agile coach or not who's male, but having that Agile Studio, that Agile family, that was something. So my number 2 would be Scrum Daddy. Having that, there has reached a point where in my Agile coaching career, in my current role where I am right now, things got a little bit tight. And it's good to hear someone who has had vast experience tell you that, don't worry, whatever you're going through, it has to happen. I don't know how to say it. When you're in Agile, you're so positive. You want so much to be brought in life.
Yeah.
Then you come into an environment or a culture where things are hard, and you're like, am I doing things wrong?
Anyway, it's nice hearing all of our heroes. So let's do something. But I need to ask you with regards to the Agile 20 Reflect Festival. It's very important that I ask you, when you think about Agile 20 Reflect Festival happening in February 2021, what comes to your mind? And give me just 5 words that describe the festival to you, every one of you. 5. Asmuk, you go first.
I would say buzz, That's the first word that comes to mind.
I love that.
Yeah. The second one is opportunity.
Indeed.
Because, opportunity to have conversations with multiple people, multiple stakeholders. So I think that's opportunity. The third one is accelerate the agile journey. So the word is accelerate. Yes. The fourth one is my favorite word, transformation.
Absolutely.
And the fifth one is, I think, is education. Education is because, it's a platform to educate and perhaps to re-educate.
Like what we're doing now.
Yes.
Dennis, 5 words.
Explosive.
Indeed. I love it. Explosive, yes.
Yes. So the main reason I'm pushing explosive there, it's because Africa needs to be there on that map. We need actually join that whole. Yes. Sorry. We need. Yes, we need.
Absolutely right.
Agile train. We need to be there full force. So explosive. Yes.
Explosive. The next one
is community.
Absolutely.
Yes. So community comes in having that. We've noted we have certain countries who want to be agile. We have agile representatives there, but they don't have a cushion or a community to actually fasten the process or learn more. So us having that whole one platform will actually assist us create more communities, will actually push things forward. Then I will just take the word reflect, having that, yes, from the Agile to reflect. So the main reason I will pick reflect is because I have had my experience for 3 years. I need to tell it to someone who's new. Because remember, the Agile 20 Reflect is not only for Agile enthusiasts, it's for anyone who has heard of this word, wants to know about it, and wants to either enter a career in it and move forward. So yes, reflect should be there. Then I can, let me see, experience.
Okay.
Yes, because I've had different talks with different people, and someone asks you the weirdest of questions. Like there's a time we were talking with a pal of mine, and he asked me, "Can Agile remove corruption?" So I was like, "Okay, that's a new way of thinking it." Yeah? And if you actually think of it, getting the values right and putting everything in scope,
absolutely,
it actually can work. Yes, to a certain extent.
Potential.
Okay.
Mercy, how many words am I left with? I'm assuming 1.
No, you're covered. You're covered. You did explosive, community, reflect. Oh, you have one more.
Oh, okay, I've already pointed out experience. I hope that's there.
Yeah, is there. Explosive, community, reflect, experience. One more.
Okay, one more. So in the Agile 20 Reflect, let me see. I can say oneness. And the reason, yes, oneness of family. Having that, I've been talking to guys in Rwanda and Tanzania. Some of them have never done any Agile game. And I was like, how? Agile games are like the living, breathing part that actually cements when you're training people for them to actually understand how Agile is. So let's put family there, having that instead of working alone, we are going to have some fun in it. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, over to you, Nchumia.
So for me, the 5 words that are really big on the Agile Reflect Festival are growth.
I love that.
Beginning from myself, growth in my Agile journey. I'm a baby. I still have I'm taking small steps, but these small steps I know one day will grow into very huge fit that I won't be able to fit myself. So growth is number one for me, and I'm hoping to grow the Agile community back in Zambia. So that's a big thing for me. And the second word is learning. This festival, I think, is a big platform for us to learn from each other, keep learning, and keep teaching the lessons that we're going to take from the festival. And the next word is community. For me, community is actually a very big thing because I've lived in different countries, and if you don't have a community that you can relate to, you are lost. So being in Agile, you don't have to feel new. You don't have to feel I'm the king of Agile. It's a community. So it makes up, there's so many people that make up the community, and each and every person is valuable, and we can make that community thrive. So community is a big word for me as well. And the other word is awareness. Did I say awareness already?
Awareness now.
Awareness. How do we make sure everybody is aware about what Agile is? Like Dennis gave that example. Somebody says, can Agile sort out corruption? So how do we make sure that such people are aware of what Agile is all about? And I think we can tap a lot of ideas and minds from this festival. I think it's going to bring great minds together, and we can use that platform to make people aware in our different communities of what Agile is all about.
The final one?
Networking. I think I love to hear, to learn from, or to connect with other people from different parts of the world, and hear and learn from their stories. Different people have different stories to tell. So I'd love to network with everybody, learn from their stories, and carry those lessons with me. I think,
awesome.
Yeah.
Let me just run through all your words. So, ASMIC, buzz, opportunity, acceleration, transformation, education. Dennis, explosive, community, reflection, experience, oneness of family. And Chimuya, growth, learning, community, awareness, and networking. I would say you guys have been such an amazing, amazing guest. And I really enjoy it. And I hope that this interview has formed as some type of education for Africans to let them know that anything is possible. This is a career that you don't retire from. In like accounting, unlike any other career that you can mention. But it's been an honor. Like you said, it's a learning. The rate of my acceleration in the Agile space is all thanks to the Agile 20 Reflect Festival, just for volunteering. You know, I started this meeting, I said that, you know, I was reflecting the amount of work I did today, and I quake. I remember my first interview with Scott, the founder of Agile 20 Reflect. He said, Mercy, you scare me. I don't know how I do it. Honestly, I don't. The way I work, and I'm a startup, I have to deal with my business mentor. I'm very 200% on Agile 20. There is no stopping. So I think you guys have been such an amazing, amazing guest, and thank you for sharing. The fact that in Chimuya, you're new to Agile, and the way you speak Agile, it means that you have adopted the Agile mindset. Agile is not a word, it is a heart set. It's not even a mindset, it's a heart. You have to love people, you have to be willing to serve others, and that's what Agile does. So I'm grateful that all your words resonate with what people came together 20 odd years ago to say, let's uncover better ways of working, and came up with some set of values, some set of principle to galvanize a group of people to foster collaboration, which is what we have done. Never met Amsuk. He's in Kenya. I've never met you in Chimuya. I've never met Dennis. But thanks to digital information, thanks to digital technology, this is only possible because of that. And I can't wait to come to you guys, right? And I can't you guys to come to Nigeria. So we are building a community, right? Hope you guys agree. So on the final note, I'd like to say one or two things that you feel that you could add to what we've done today. One or two things. Asmuk, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I think so. What I want to do is have this kind of conversation. Who perhaps doesn't understand what Agile is in the first place, or has a basic understanding, but is asking us, okay, so what do I do from here? And I think it's a takeaway from this session that I think in terms of evangelizing, that's what I would like to do within Kenya and take it to the community.
Okay.
Yep.
And Chimuya, you any last words before we close today?
For me, I think the Agile space is a wonderful space to be in. I have learnt a lot, and I'm willing and ready to carry that message back everywhere, whichever part of the world that I'm going to live in. And from today's conversation, I think the key thing has been that we kind of like face similar challenges, and it's kind of like comforting to say it's not only in Zambia where we face these challenges. They're faced in a different space, like let's say Kenya as well. But how do we manage those challenges? How do we come out of those challenges together as an Agile community? So I think from the conversation that we've had, I'm going to take away lessons of how to manage the different challenges that we have back in our countries, and be able to tap in the different communities that we have across the globe.
Thank you so very kindly. And Dennis, over to you.
Okay, then. So on my end, I have two things to say. So the first thing is for anyone who's joining the Agile 20, it will be something similar to this. We are going to have hosts, guys are going to speak. You can create whatever is needed, if it's Agile games, if it's a sensitization process. So what I would have loved in this session is maybe we could pick one or two questions from the chats, but I don't know how many guys are actually engaging us as we speak. But if there were many guys, and I'm assuming in the festival.
Let me check. I'll check the YouTube now because we're streaming YouTube and see if there's any question, because I wasn't, let me see, 18 people are watching as we speak, but I've got to mute that, doesn't echo back. And the people quite.
So what I would have loved in this session is.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, okay then. So that was the first thing, that whatever we are currently doing, the Agile 20 Reflect might be something similar or even more indulging, depending on whichever host plans. It can be a game that everyone can actually participate in and so forth. So it's us now to bring it on board. And the second bit in regards to the Agile scope. Currently not. For anyone who's joining the Agile world, it will be really, I can't use the word energizing. I don't know which word. Mercy is the one who's always energized. So, okay, there's a word that's eluding me, but let's say it will be challenging, having that you're going to meet different people. Number one, we have different cultures across Africa and the world as a whole. Then you're going to face through organizational cultures. As I've said, I have been in different companies, and trust me, all those companies, I have no single company that has a similar culture than the other one. All of them are completely different. So stay strong, put your community in check. If possible, have a mentor or someone to go to. So that's what I can actually just urge anyone who's joining the whole Agile place. If you're an Agile coach, Scrum Master, Product Owner, or just an Agile enthusiast. It's just good to know that. Yes.
Thank you so much. I really love all the feedback from the YouTube channel. And thank you for pointing me in that direction. One thing that I'm excited is Doug loved this interview. He said, lovely to hear Agile Spirit of Africa, because he's been asking me a lot of questions. And thank you, Dr. Bola, for all writing all the 5 comments. So thank you. It's been a very informative. For me, I've learned a lot. I've come to realize that Africa is Africa. The complexity of Africa, that it would take Africans to help Africa by borrowing the Agile mindset to apply into everything that we do. And it is possible. I can tell you because I've recorded success with LEARNTOR. I know that just following the Agile mindset is a success. So for me, I want to say congratulations. Thank you again. And I apologize, Asmuk, for pronouncing your name wrongly.
Don't worry about it.
I hope I've
No
done
worries.
better. And Chimuya, it's a real pleasure to meet you. I know we have started a community on our own. We don't need to wait for people to start a community. One thing that I'm big on, we can speak offline after this or set up another conversation, invite as many people. Let's tell how we can build a wider community in Africa. All of us, it's not about Nigerian community. Let's forget all those silos. It pose a problem for us. You know, it's not about Nigerian community, Ghanaian community. Let's create one big community whereby we can take Agile from Africa to the world. There is nobody more agile than Africans. I hope you know that, because we adapt. Although we don't take a lot of lessons learned, but we adapt. We don't reflect as well. And we can change the story. But thank you, everyone. Nice having you on the call. It was supposed to be 30 minutes, but I'm sure Scott will be very happy with this interview. It was very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Bye.
having me.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you, Matthew.